G'day guys, welcome back to Stat Chat. Heff from the Keeper League back on for a second crack at our trivia. Good to have you back on, mate.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was good fun last week, getting the dubs there. So back to defend the crown and see if I can go back to back.
Yeah, BT, you're going to need a lift, mate. Before we start as well, Heff, I think recent podcast just come out last week, wrapping up the trade period.
Yeah, had a look at some of the names that went through there. Don't listen too much about my Dan Houston rant that came out. I'm not too happy. Wasn't too happy with that trade, but yeah, it is what it is. It's in the past now.
No, we won't give it all away. If you like that, if you like your AFL fantasy content, go and check out Heff from the Keeper League wherever you get your podcasts. But today, boys, we're talking about every player in 2024 who had 150 or more AFL fantasy points in a game.
Okay.
24 names on the list. First to 10 is going to win it. Heff, you won it last time. So let's give BT a chop out.
Brett Daniels.
Brett Daniels, I can pay that. He's the number two name on the board. 171 was his top score. I believe it was around 23, second last round of the year.
Yeah.
Big game from him.
That score won me a prelim, so that was actually going to be my first answer because my favourite fantasy performance of the year got me over the line.
You have to go somewhere else. Where do you like?
Well, I'm going to do the same first answer that I did last week, and I'm going to go with Tristan Cherry to score 150.
Absolutely. 168 was his top score. He did it, I believe, on three different occasions.
Okay.
Equal most amongst all players in 2024. What a weapon.
I'm going to go the old fella, the premiership player, Dane Zorko.
Dane Zorko, top of the shot. 184 was the top score for AFL Fantasy in 2024. He's on the list.
Loves a +6.
Oh, yeah, he does.
I'm going to take a real stab here, real tricky one, and I'm going to bet that other ruck there is Rowan Marshall.
Yeah, not a hard selection. He's on board. He did it 3 times as well. Definitely the 1-2 rucks this year. And where do you think the ruck situation is going to be next year, Heff? If you've got the number one pick in your draft and everyone's available, where are you going?
We've actually started up this new community rankings tool that's only available to my gold members at the moment, but it'll be available for the general public later on, maybe early next year. But essentially, what it is, you get served with 3 players. You've got to pick which of the 3 you draft first in a keeper league draft, and it has like a bit of an ELO like ranking system to kind of work out the ranks from there, from all the community input. And who's going number one right now in the keeper league space it's interesting because he's a bit older. Rowan Marsh was going before Tristan Cherry, but they are ranked 4 and 5 in the ranks at the moment. So everyone wants to lock in one of those like big rucks early on.
Yeah. Well, that's all the more reason to go and get a gold membership. That's a good plug from you.
Slide it in there.
Yeah, you've got to do it. BT.
While we're talking about Ruckman, Max Gawn.
Yeah, Maxie's there. Of course he's there. One of the 2 ruckmen that is left on this list, 152, was Big Maxie's top score.
I reckon when in doubt, you can just chuck up Max Gawn for 150 plus each year. He'll get one every year, I reckon.
And he was on the cusp like probably 3 or 4 times. Yeah, just gets it done.
Yeah, exactly. One springs to mind because it was in round 24. I'm going to go with Nick Dacos.
Yeah, Nick Dacos, I can pay that. He's right in the middle of the board. And it was the only time we did it all year, surprisingly.
I'll lock in the Bont.
Yeah, the Bont is on the list. 159 was his top score. And the Bont just keeps getting it done year after year.
All right, starting to get a bit stuck now. Trying to think of teams that play like fantasy friendly roles.
Yeah. But not the Eagles.
No.
Yeah, definitely not. Oh, actually, that triggers something. Fremantle, I remember there was a game where they kicked backwards, I reckon, 1,000,000 times to this guy, and he took a heap of marks and got a heap of touches. That was Luke Ryan.
Yeah, Luke Ryan's on the list. I can pay that for you. He had a very good AFL fantasy year as well. Did have that down patch in the middle of the year, though. Like, I literally brought him in, and he turned to shit.
Same. Yeah, the week I brought him in, he was $1 million plus.
Yep,
and he dropped right back out down to under 800.
The exact same thing as well. Absolute shit of a bloke. BT, where are you going to go?
Yellow, the other fellow Fremantle player, Jordan Clark.
Yeah, Jordan Clark is there. It's a good pull. I thought he might go under the radar a little bit, but you've nailed it. Good stuff. Half over to you, mate. Can you return the serve?
Thinking of just absolute fantasy pigs, I'm fairly certain this guy had a 150 plus, and that is Harry Sheasel.
Yeah, the Shees is on the board. I can give you that. 159 was his top score for the year. And we are 5 to 5. First to 10 wins it.
I'm pretty sure this guy had one. Was it Jack Sinclair?
Jack Sinclair, yes. He is the second last defender mid on the board.
That was the train of thought before, those kind of halfback flankers that get a heap of cheap touches, or the guys sitting on the halfback line that chip around a bit. That was my train of thought. Yeah.
Are you going to go for the last one on the board?
I'm trying to think of who it might be, but I cannot think of it right now. I'm just going to take stabs, I reckon, at guys that around that pointy end that I reckon could have gone higher. I reckon Caleb Sarong had a big one earlier on in the season. I'm not sure if it was a 150 plus though. But
it was 160 plus. He's on the board. It was a big game from Caleb Sarong. That's a nice
cool. Okay, all right.
Errol Goulden.
Yeah.
He's got to be that, surely.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where, but he definitely is on the board. Just snuck in for 151. This is good work, boys. We haven't missed so far, but I can tell you're struggling a little bit. There's no logos on the board.
Yeah.
I've made it tough.
I just thought of another halfback flanker, I reckon, that would have had one in there. It was Lockie Whitfield.
Lockie Whitfield is the first miss on the day. Did not.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. I thought someone would get suckered in for that, but he's not on the board.
The only other one I could think who would be a defence mid was Nick Martin.
Nick Martin? I can't pay you Nick Martin either. He's not on the board.
Wow, not even early on.
So we've got a defender mid and a defender still on the board. Two good picks, boys, but they're not there.
I can't think of any other positions. So I'm just racking my brain for defenders. I reckon.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm just trying to think who the primos were we'll bring in at the end. Is Nick Newman one?
Yeah, Nick Newman is on the board.
That was right towards
when everyone was injured. He was the only one racking up for Carlton. Yeah.
Pretty sure it was against our Eagles, and it's not hard to score well against the Eagles. So Nick Newman on the board, leveling it back up.
Josh Dunkley.
He is on the board. It's a good pull there from you, BT. Going back out 8 to 7, but we're still on serve here. Heff.
You've just triggered something for me there. His best mate, Adam Treloar, surely had a 150 in his massive year.
Yeah, 154 was his best score on the day, and you level it back up. 8 points apiece. We're on serve. We could be going to sudden death here if this keeps up, boys. I like it.
Isaac Heaney?
Isaac Heaney. I can't give you Isaac.
Wow.
Had an awesome start to the year.
A lot of 140s though.
Yeah, a lot of high scores, but I haven't got him on my list, which does keep the door ajar for Heff.
Oh, he definitely had a 160 in Supercoach, because I reckon I had him captain that week when no one else did. I think it was Gather Round. He went massive.
That's got to muck you around a bit, is the Supercoach in the AFL Fantasy.
Yeah, it does kind of throw me a little bit. I'm so stuck. I'm trying to think of those mids. I don't reckon he did, but Andrew Brayshaw, he's a fantasy type. Did he have a 150?
Look, he is a fantasy type, but I haven't got him on my board. He's not on the list.
Oh, I know the other one. It's Nankervis.
That is a great pull.
Yeah.
Is Nank 150 on the nose?
He had like 30 odd disposals or something like that.
Yeah, just an unreal game. And he was. I did not see you guys getting Nank. I'm not going to lie, but that is a good pull.
I have absolutely no idea where to go next.
The board here, F. You got 3 mids. You got 3 mid forwards. Well, sorry,
this is
2 mid forwards and a forward, and you got 1 back.
Yeah, there's midfielders on there. And I'm just trying to think of the guys who would generally go big. Like there's players like, Jack Steele usually put one up, but he had a pretty low season, so I'm not sure if I'm confident on that one. Like Tom Green, I think had a big one early. but I don't think it was a 150. I'm a bit stuck on those mids. I might lock in Tom Green and see how we go.
Tom Green, I cannot give you Tom Green. He did not get a
Yeah,
150,
damn.
which means, BT,
Mm.
this is match point. You get one here, it's all over. Done and dusted.
I've got two names, but I'm not confident on either of them. But I'm gonna go with Jesse Hogan.
Jesse Hogan kicked a lot of goals.
He did.
But he did not have a big AFL Fantasy game. He's not on the list. Keeps you in the game here, Heff, and you can level it up 9 apiece.
I'm trying to think of like clubs you just don't go to straight off, like your Gold Coast. Oh, actually, Sam Flanders would have had a big one in there. Would have had a million kickouts.
Yeah.
Sam Flanders is definitely on the list. 163 was his top score. It's a good pull. It's 9-9. At this point, it's level pegging.
Mm-hmm.
So effectively, we are in sudden death right here. BT, give us a name.
I've got it. He was in my draft stars team this round.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Hill.
Brad Hill sneaks onto the
Yes.
bottom of the list with 150 on the nose, which means, Heff, you need a name here or it's all over. No pressure or anything like that.
I'm trying to think of like big bags of goals now because they usually pull out 150s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like I'm thinking Charlie Kerner or Jake Waterman, I think had a big week where he kicked a huge bag as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's one forward left on the board. There's also one defender mid.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
I'll lock in Jake Waterman.
Jake Waterman, we like Jake Waterman here on the channel, but he's not going to get it done for you today. That is bad luck. That is the win to BT, 10-9. And I think that's fitting. One win apiece for you boys in your 2 appearances on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
But that is stiff, Heff. That is stiff to go out on Jake Waterman. I'm going to put you out of your misery. The last forward on the list, did you have any idea?
Maybe Jeremy Cameron.
No, it was Tim Membry. Tim Membry against the Eagles.
Yeah.
I remember that actually. We made a big deal about it on the pod because he was on every waiver wire at the time.
Oh, mate. Absolute cash rise right there. But Tim Membry was the
It was
name.
against West Coast, wasn't it?
Yeah, mate. If you're kicking goals this year, you're kicking against West.
That's right.
That's just how it goes. Other names that you could have gone with is Bailey Dale was the last defender mid that was forward. He had a 160 game. And then I was also looking for Jordan Dawson.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Another Gold Coast son, Noah Anderson. And the final name on the list, James Warple had a really big game early in the season.
Yeah, that's right.
He had 152, but did absolutely nothing else for the rest of the season. But that is the list. Heff, stiff, mate. That's bad luck.
Apart from that Jordan Dawson one, because I remember watching that at a mate's place. It was on Friday night. I can't remember who it was against. Maybe Essendon. Maybe that was the Sam Draper.
Jump on the ball. Yeah.
Jump ball. I reckon it was that game there. But that's the only one I don't reckon I would have got any of the others. So that's the only one I'm disappointed in.
Good work, boys. Heff, appreciate you coming on as always. Make sure you go and check out Heff at the Keeper League podcast. Does some great work over there in the AFL fantasy space. Look, aside from that, good work, BT. We'll see you in the next one.
Congratulations, mate.
Hey guys, Josh here. I'm in the process of editing this video right now and I've gone back. I've checked the stats and I've shit the bed. Lockie Whitfield, 160 AFL fantasy points, which means, Heff, you are the winner of today's AFL Trivia. 2-0. Good work. BT, you need a lift. I need a lift. I've stuffed it. Sorry, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.